So, hello everyone, Ri here talking about FF7 being released way earlier, people getting banned, how I feel about just the general kind of, I feel like a sucker punch. I love JRPG games, my favorite genre, right? And full disclosure, I worked on this game. I worked on FF7 Remake, so we can't go into, but I won't spoil anything here, but I know a little bit of it, right? So, which of course we're gonna stay, of course, out of NEA, right? So it's gonna be fine. But first of all, I read this thing here, 10th of April last week, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, maybe I get the game like 2 days earlier. And I talked to my friend, I was on my friend's podcast today. He has a podcast, has 2 different podcasts, one of them, and he does like a gaming review, so on, right? So he gets the game earlier. I used to have a blog, right, back in the days when I was in college. I used to write my own, review site and so on, and I was writing for some other web pages and so on for different, magazines. And then I will get, copies earlier, right? Yeah, and you will play them, you read them, yeah. So he gets that early, right? So he talked to me yesterday, he was a game, we started playing 7 Remake yesterday and today and so on. But he told me that, yeah, but you know what, I even got it after this, browner people in Australia. I was like, what, GameStop? Yeah. So today then I figured out, because today I was like reaching it, and I was like, what? Huh? FF7 getting released like 10 days early in Australia? What the hell? So yeah, I see my, JRPG save, I have a huge JRPG collection, like Wild Arms, Final Fantasy, Origins, one, yeah. I got so much JRPG. I love JRPG, yeah, Fantasy 1. Even the music CD, yeah, one of my favorite, soundtrack. I did a super clean FF1, just play FF1, Mana, Sega, Breath of Fire, I love JRPG games. Of course, Fantasy is one of the biggest things, FF8, whatever was one. So, for me, I've been waiting for this game for a while, of course. And as I mentioned, I worked on it a bit, but still, though, I've been waiting for the game, playing it. I worked on it way back, and for example, let's say something like Call of Duty. I worked on Call of Duty, okay. Black Ops 2, for example. So working on a map of Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And for 6 months when I worked on that game, you had one is maps. I was working with the bats in the game. You had 2 like cars, I guess, more like jeeps, but yeah, jeeps that. For the first 6 months when I worked on that stage, those was like a white square, right? Yeah, it's like a white block. Until someone lost the thing. And I was working on this Amsterdam map, and inside every house, it's like a lot of paintings, and it's like, mats and tables and all that. But when I worked on that stage, before the graphic guys did that stuff, the artist guys, it was just nothing, right? It's black and white, there was nothing. So I was working, on the balance and the aim and the weapons one, yeah. And when we were playing the stage, testing it out, nothing, just black and white. And then the last week before release, they added in the paintings and stuff like that. So, so when you work on a game, doesn't mean you necessarily feel the final part, right? So when I was at FF7 Remake, that was way years ago. It was very early, so I haven't actually played the game and see its beauty, and so on. So of course I really want to play the game. But, so it's a lot of sucker punch feeling, I think, for a lot of unfairness things. I'm talking about here, right? So I have to say it's a couple of different things. From like a YouTuber, Twitch, social media perspective, it definitely is like a massive sucker punch, okay? I have to admit that. I'm very angry over that. And then I'm also like the clout shade, yeah, so it's a lot of this stuff. And then from a gaming perspective, it also feels kind of annoying because you do want to be on the same time. You want to play the game with your friends. Because I've lived in 12 different countries and so on. I have friends in different countries. You want to talk to people at the same time. You want to play the game a lot and be kind of similar. So you don't want people like in Australia being 10 days ahead of you. It feels kind of weird. I have some friends over there, so they're already playing the game up here. Yeah, so on more. Yeah, it's like, what? It's lots of that. So anyway, let's talk about it first from like a YouTuber perspective. So obviously, I would like the channel here to be more of a gaming, talking about, but I wanted it not to be reviews. I wanted the channel to be more about talking about, development, how do you do stuff, and rethinking, and looking at different perspectives in psychology. And my last video was about UX design, right? Like my very long Pokemon video, talking about different game mechanics, why is this good, why is this bad, and so on, right? So I wanted to be a very in-depth channel, right, about gaming and all stuff, anime, but basically gaming. And I'm a huge JRPG guy. So of course, for this example, of course I was going to make a video to about 7, probably the best system, primarily. And I feel like, just because a lot of people already have the game, it's clearly gonna, reducing my views. This video here probably gets less views, and so on, right? It's just simple math. because a lot of people are already doing a lot of videos about the game, and it's harder for me to then get any clout generation. Of course, that is true. So that is Sucker Punch. That does. I think it's irritated, right, from that perspective, because I personally think that I have something else to bring to table, right? I have a published book about JRPG games and so on. And academia-wise, I was famous, but I'm somewhat recognizable. At least a few years ago when I worked in academia, I was somewhat recognizable in that sphere, and I want to give it and try to explain that stuff to, like to everyone, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get them down to people, to everyone get what we were going on, trying to prove so on. And of course, this kind of stuff then ruins it for me for a bit, and that feels really bad, honestly. It feels really bad, yeah, because I know that there's already people streaming it everywhere, of course they're getting banned and so on later, but still, that is happening, a lot of people doing videos, and one thing though, we have to remember, one thing that's really big here, you have to remember, this is more from my old channel, but still, people can stream the game, they can, but they get banned and so on, right? So they're stupid doing it. They probably get striked and so on, right? So it's stupid. But you can still beat the whole game. Some people have already beaten the whole game because they've been freaking like 4 days. And I didn't know about this until just now then. That was asked in Australia. But that means that they can still record the whole game, right? They can still, let's say I want to do this in-depth, combat system design video, right? Someone might already have done that. They have all the boss battles, right? So they have recorded all that. They got all the material, and then when I get the game, maybe I get the game like on Monday, whatever. Yeah, but I get the game a few days later. I stop doing that video, right? And then someone is already like done with the video. And as soon as 10 April, they drop the video. Yeah, as soon as 10 April, they can drop the full gameplay. Right? I mean, I'm certainly there'll be a lot of Australian YouTubers who want. They're gonna drop like part 1 to 20, day 1. Yeah, they're gonna be already recording everything, right? That's why they didn't stream before the embargo. They can just drop everything on Friday, right? So that feels really stupid. Yeah, they're gonna do that, of course. Incredibly stupid, and also so that feels really unfair. And for my other channel where I do like reaction and live streams and so on my Twitch channel, of course it's like, damn it, people are already gonna stream this shit way before I could. And so on. So it feels really unfair. That is definitely feel unfair, and it's very irritating. Especially for usually, and I've been on this other end, right, when we have published a game and there is someone like playing the game before. Remember my last game got sold on like eBay before we even yeah, like my last game, we sent it out, some copies, right, to reviewers and so on, to websites and so on. And immediately before the game was launched, like the week before, we could find the game being sold on eBay, like copies of our game, right? Because we send out reviewers, right? We send them the key, right? The Steam key, and they're already like selling. Someone is selling the Steam keys, right, online, right? So of course you can't trust every damn people you send it to, and you could probably figure out what Steam key it is if you really wanted to. But yeah, so that shit happens, right? That there are, for example, like a reviewer. I think it was the Pokemon leak was also from like Italian, something in Europe. Nintendo that dropped all the Nintendo Pokemon leaks, yeah, and so on. That shit happens, right? But it's a very big difference from producing a game and then you send the game to a reviewer, like even a big site, and they just screw you over. That happens a lot. But to drop this game again, this game is dropped, completely. This thing here I thought was gonna be okay. It's like be coming out early in a few days in like Europe and Australia. Okay, but everyone in Australia can buy the game 10 days earlier. That's like a massive thing. That's like a massive thing. Comparing it to like like compared to like 2 reviewers, leaking it, or like 1 or 2 reviewers leaking it, or the whole country, a continent. Yeah, it's like whoa. So that feels really strange. I haven't really seen something similar to that, and it feels really stupid by them, honestly. But screen, I think they should have definitely just released it online, let everyone buy it online on the same day, something like that. Or of course, if you sell it, would be better. But still, though, I mean, I'm obviously I'm a hard copy guy, like this game here, Legend of Mana, never released in my home country. I had to import it. So this game cost like, instead of costing $60, I paid like $100 for this game. And mint condition, Legend of Mana. Importing it today's worth maybe like $200. I don't know. It's a very expensive game holding my hand right now. One of the more expensive games to PS1. Yeah, original Legend of Mana here. And it's like a perfect condition, of course, because I really take care of my games. But yeah, so it's like perfect there. But for example, so when I as a kid and so on, I would import games from America and Canada specifically. For example, we had FF12 was released really ridiculously earlier. It's like 6 months early in the US than in Europe. And of course, I'm from Europe, then I used to live in Europe, right? And then I would import FF12 about 6 months earlier than that. So all my friends would come over to my place to play FF12 and see me play FF12 and so on. Because I was like, yeah, so that was really funny. So, back in the days, it used to be kind of crazy. And games like Legend of Mana was ever released in Europe, so we had to import it. But today, you're used to everything coming on the same time, everyone being on the same pattern, and it feels really strange. But I think definitely from like a reactor or whatever streaming pit, it feels really annoying because I know that when I'm starting, so obviously I would never do it before on that Friday because I know the laws, I know them very, very well. But again, then I know that people have already been doing it. And obviously I admit that I want to be famous now, but obviously I want people to know that I am the freaking JRPG, master of JRPGs. That's one of my proudest things. No, but I really am. Like, I love games, and I especially love, again, JRPG games. Of course, I would love to have more of a, fame and whatever. Not really fortune, I guess, but more fame, I have to admit. So obviously I was hoping to play the game and get some, also modder channel, right? 2 other channels, and stream it and so on, of course. And then people already done it. It's like, oh, that's pretty boring, pretty lame. So obviously it's a sucker punch from like a social media perspective, definitely, but also from like a gaming combination. So this is really sad. But there are some more issues then, of course. Which I feel is maybe bigger, less bitchy, I feel. And for example, we think of F7, right? For me, it's like a huge game, right? For me, it means everything. But like one of my favorite games, right? Graphic the game, love the game so much, and I feel that one of the issues you see with this thing happening, Fortnite as a fan, is that who are you seeing? So when I found out this game was already released in Australia, of course I just did some quick search for it, found some different hits on it on YouTube and so on, and who is playing the game? Well, it's mainly people that have like 10 subscribers, and I shouldn't I'm not dissing them because they have like a new channel trying to be a YouTuber, whatever, right? Of course, it's stupid doing this stuff because you always get copyright strike, the police channel, but still, there's only those people streaming it right on YouTube right now. People with very, very low, very, very minor channels, no, social media platform, whatever, so on, right? They are streaming it. What does that mean from like a fan perspective? What I think that means from fan perspective is that they are really not fans, right? That's what I feel, honestly. They might be fans, they might be Zelda fans, whatever, right? But probably not, because when you see someone that's like, we have like literally, I saw one guy with like 10 subscribers streaming this game. It's not like 3 people doing it because they get strike, right? I'll talk about it later, but yeah, why that's how it works from a law perspective. But they're doing it, right? And that's because, for me, it's pretty obvious that if you are like a really big channel, you probably know the rules better, so you won't do it, right? For a medium channel, you might be afraid or so on. But for like a minor, like a very, 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 absurdly tiny channel, it's more interesting to take a chance rather than go for it, of course. Obviously, human behavior, they take a bigger chance. But it's also that just feels like a chill thing, right? Yeah. I feel sad about it because I am, as I mentioned, of course I'm going to stream the game when I get a game on Friday. We're going to stream the game before that. And it feels sad, but no, but like, it feels sad to me because this is a good game and these people don't really respect the game, right? That's how I feel, honestly. And because I don't plan to stream the game to be like, yeah, please, I need to have like 1,000 view, live stream, I want to be famous. No. Again, I really love this kind of games. I really love the JRPG genre. I love some more games too. But for me, it's all about when I did like my paper, I really want to explain to people why these games are great. I want to tell people how can you make better games, right? So when I do my live stream, check them out. I do a lot of analyzation, right? Talking about this stuff and so on, right? I mean, I'm also just playing the game. I'm really like not critiquing it. I'm analyzing the design. There's a bug. Let me explain this code about this stuff. Or this African thing here. This is why the reason is happening. Or this the localized. Oh, the translation here is kind of weird. The Japanese is in English. Like if I play a game with and so on. And I do all that stuff, right? And I really want people to I absolutely genuinely don't do my live streams or whatever because I want to get money for it. I do it because I love the stuff, right? And I truly mean that in the sense that I really don't care about money. I never cared about money in my life. and I have a lot of money, but at the same time, because I like math, right? I like stocks, but for me it's more about winning. Yeah, for me it's more about winning. I buy stocks, I bet money, stuff like that, because I like to win stuff. So it's more about winning, and of course I want to have enough money so I can buy every game and so on, right? Yeah, but no, but like, I want to have enough money that can be free, but after that I don't care about money really. So I never really care about getting that clout. I generally don't, in the sense that I want to get money for it. I just want people to, I want to, reach out to people and to explain stuff and like to, motivate people and to like make people happier and so on, right? See what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. Truly, especially when it comes to these kind of games, I genuinely really love, I genuinely really love this kind of games, right? And I want people to also be happy. So I think for me then, I do get like teared eye here because it feels really sad to me that the most people I see streaming the game are obviously people that have very little, they have little risk, of course, small chance, low chance to losing anything really. But it also means they're very, very likely just trying to get any kind of momentum, right, for fame and fortune playing this game. It's very, very obvious that they don't actually care about the game. And same thing, I think, I have to say, I admit, when I see other people doing like, demo, trailer reaction, demo playing, so on, I hate many of those people. I have to say that I do it because they're like, these people have no idea, they don't know JRPG games, they have no idea talking about, they're faking, they're pretending to care about F7, they never played the first game, they're fake crying, it's so obvious, they have no idea, complete chills, they absolutely don't respect or love these games. They never played the first game, never played, FF8, they never played any other game in the genre or so on. It's complete bullshit. I truly hate these people, and they're quite common, right? So of course FF7, when it's gonna come after release, it's gonna bring a lot of people that are complete chills, right? They have absolutely nothing to do with this game, right? Or they're playing it purely because it's a famous and very, very big game, right? Not because they actually like the game or understand the game. So obviously that's frustrating, honestly, that people watch them and so on anyway. It's frustrating. But this to me, when people are like, like we see it, then it's almost only our students to have the game first, right? For me it's even worse, yeah. And I feel a mix of hate, pityness and sadness, because I'm like, man, these people are so chilling. They're just like, they're purely playing the game, they know they might lose the channel, they're playing the game, they're like, oh, this is the best game ever, they don't have no shit to doing, they're running around like fools, they're doing it purely to get the money, the claim, the clout, right? They have no interest in actually liking the game, right? They have no interest in actually caring about the game, caring about the characters, the lore of the game, the backstory, all the different remakes. I have like every damn F7 game, right? I have like 200 plus JRPG games. I played. Here's some more, like here I have, FF1 Origins, right? Yeah, classic order. This is my PlayStation bag games. I have so much PlayStation stuff. What more do we have? Wild Arms, so that's a great thing. Exonagears or Chrono Cross. That's a good one. Fortunately, it hits, but still though, like I have every damn, JRPG ever, basically. Some of them are fortunately are in the hit version, so it's less valuable, I guess, from like a collector aspect. But I bought this game also important, so they was already out for a few years before I got the game finally. So I actually replayed a lot of games, or not replayed, I mean a few of the games that I got, PlayStation 1 especially, I actually played them a few years after they were out, because again, this game was never released in Europe, so I had to like get a place to buy it. This is before the internet, so basically so very hard to get the game, so it took a while to get to play through a few of these. The same with he had Exonagears also then gets hits. The same thing, right? Took some time to get the game, right? To get the game basically, and like find how to buy it and so on. And so that's already released and hits then. And also I needed to have a PlayStation that could play, of course, MTS games. So I have on a PlayStation 2 actually from America then, with like a different power cable, right? Like a transistor, so you can change on the adapter. Yeah, I'm really sad, honestly, but that's what I mean, because when I look at these games, I really love this. I really love these games, right? And I used to see these channels because I quick search on YouTube and I find these people, that are stupid enough to stream it, because people are, last point about the banning thing, but yeah, before they get banned and so on, right? And it's like, man, people are so desperate for the clout. They're so desperate for that. For the money, yeah. They're so desperate for the money, to get that fame and fortune. They don't really care about, you know, they're not caring about like they actually enjoy the game, right? Or to spread the games, not just like spread the game, obviously games are famous, but to explain why the game is good, to really think about the game and so on, whatever, right? They don't respect the art, I guess, and that's more me. Yeah, I'm like, you know, I respect the art, right? So I really think so. It really makes me sad. That's probably my biggest emotion from it, actually. It makes me really sad, and I just look at people desperate and their desperation. And generally, I always get sad. People don't have desperate for money, so on, I guess. Because I really don't care about it. Because I have like zero interest in money. I have no interest in money whatsoever. I always said to people, I have zero interest in money and material goods whatsoever, except of course games and other stuff. No, but the only thing I care about is like the small collectible stuff. But otherwise, I have like no interest in it. I don't care about it. One reason why I don't say, oh, I'm so rich, right? But one reason why I am somewhat wealthy, at least compared to like the universe, the planet, right? Obviously, I'm like, I live in a specific country. I live in different kinds of life, but I live in mostly specific countries. I have a very high salary and a great consulting fees, a very expensive salary. Of course, it gives me a lot of money, but I don't really care about it. And what I mean is that I never buy anything. Like I used to have money. I'm like the Uncle Scrooge guy that used to save all the money. So I don't know. I don't want to say about, oh yeah, I'm so this is the point of the video, but it's like I'm just trying to think about it myself. This is my this is my sociological channel, right? I say what I think, right? But I never censor myself. I just always say what I think, right? But I think that's probably why, because one of the biggest reason why I have a lot of money, I would say a lot, but you know, like I'm not like, you know, a millionaire rich, like a famous billionaire, a movie star rich or whatever, or like owning this massive company, but I'm like, you know, richer than the normal average guy, right? Like yeah. But I think the reason why I am that mainly is because I just never buy anything. I have no interest in buying stuff. So all the money I earned when I was already like 9, 10, when I worked and so on, I saved all the money. I bought some games and so on, but I saved the money. When I got a job, I saved all the money. I never buy anything. Every year I look back, oh, more money. Yeah, I never buy stuff except the games and this stuff. Yeah, and I just invest stuff. I never spend the money. I have zero like impulse things. When I go to the store, I have never in my life been like, oh, I need to buy some candy. It never happened. I don't do that. So I don't know, but it's like I can understand it, but I can't relate to it. Having this absurd desire to just get clout, you know, just to get used to be famous or whatever, and not respecting the material. I know it's like a really weird point now. So people probably hate me now because oh, money. No, but for me, I think it's the same thing. That's my point. I think it's the same thing where I'm coming from. Is that I really don't care about, gaining anything. It's not a personal gain from doing these long videos about Final Fantasy or talking about gaming and so on. So it's not personal gain. Maybe this one day, and of course I'm not stupid, and I'm living in reality. So it's like if this channel suddenly had 100 million subscribers, and I was suddenly making a huge amount of money off it, I wouldn't say no to that. It's like it's not like I don't want money. I mean, or fame and whatever. Of course, it'd be that's cool. Like you wouldn't say no to it, but I make this kind of long, you know, and I don't call it a rant video, but I make this long when I was thinking. I'm trying to research. I'm trying to understand my own emotions. I'm trying to talk about why do I feel X, why do I feel Y, and when I look at it, I get really sad. Like I'm almost crying now. Like I'm really holding my tears back, and it sounds weird. But for me, it's like it hurts me to see these people play these games like FF7 Remake, and they're doing it so purely from, you know, that like the money, the perspective of getting money, or perspective of like, you know, being famous or whatever, or getting the general clout right there. And I'm just like, why it's so sad? Why can't you enjoy the game? Talk about the game, discuss this game mechanics, discuss the game design, discuss the art, discuss the gameplay, or this mini game. Making a minigame video. I feel like that, right? And it's just like, yeah, of course it's always like that. Of course I know that it's gonna be 100 people doing like a minigame video or something, right? Even if they don't really go into any depths It's gonna be the look at the mini game. It's gonna be that, right? I'm like, oh man, of course I hate it. Sure, I hate it. I admit it. I hate it. But this feels even worse because it's so obvious now that people are doing it are clearly risking their channels or whatever, right, on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer, and so on. They're clearly risking their channels, doing it anyway, and this is purely that chase of how can I use this game to become more famous, right? They don't care about the game. They don't really care about the players, the real lovers of fantasy. They just want to get the fame and get your money, right? They want to get you, right? So I really hope that you absolutely don't care about these people. That's what I say. And is it some kind of jealousy, envy then? Not really. Because I would have to play the game, but I would not stream it because I know very well the loss, so I wouldn't stream it anyway. But sure, I can admit to say that it feels irritating to me. Not really envy yet, but irritating more. That here's some random kid just screaming when he plays FF7, and here I am that can give you like a really in-depth explanation. I know the lore, I played the game several times, I played all the side games, I have every damn FF game ever, I know exactly the mechanics, the gameplay, the body design, I know the code and so on, and I can give you like a really in-depth what happened in the game, etc. So of course it's irritating. But anyway, but yeah, it gets me really sad. Like I have this this really tear-eyed feeling over it. It feels really. I have also a problem, I think, to seeing people's desperation, seeing people just doing anything for whatever, not really having that, it's not the same thing with willpower. Desperation is more doing anything for whatever. Yeah, definitely stupid also because the chance of the risk reward is stupid too and so on. It gets me a little. But I never get depressed. I don't have the depressed emotion. I'm a weirdo, right? I never get depressed. So I never get depressed. It's more like a sadness, pityness. I feel a lot of pity. Like a mixture of sad and pityness. Yeah, I feel sad over them. Like I feel, who are these people? Why are they so, why are they so pity? Yeah, it's like I feel sad for it. But yeah, it's a weird sensation, right? Like I am this super true ultra FF7 fan, right? I am this super true ultra FF7 fan, and these are like, and of course from like I think also from perspective, where I am this super FF7 fan, and also JRPG fan, as I mentioned, of course. And I see these people that I'm like, they don't get it, they can't, and so I feel pity because like, I'm also thinking that they don't understand what's game. They don't understand they don't have actual emotions. I feel they're faking it. This I feel, and then I feel sad. Usually when I see people that are faking reactions, I don't get angry like I did in the motor video. Something like that, but mainly I get sad. I feel like these people don't understand the greatness, the comedy. They don't understand the action. Don't understand. That's what I feel more like, and I just feel like sad. Like I pity people a lot. I think more. But anyway. Last point, let's talk about the people getting banned and so on, the general rules of it. Okay, so it's pretty clear that even if it's pretty clear that FF7 Remake is supposed to be out at 10th of April, right? Even if people had it for like 10 days earlier, which is really stupid. As I mentioned earlier, we have leaks so on, like I have with that people selling the games on eBay when we gave the keys, ridiculous. But it's like that's usually like a one or two keys and so on like that. Yeah, not that this big thing. But when it comes from a law perspective, right? Of course you can't actually stream or show the game. It's just ridiculous. Of course you can't, because the game is still set on 10th of April. If they had changed it and said, "Are we dropping it 1st April in Australia?" and we're changing the official date to 1st April now, then they would be allowed to stream it. They even wrote on different things that you cannot stream it and do it in video. So they even wrote a different thing about it. The reason why, there are a couple reasons why. Of course, they know this is a pretty bad thing. We have the issues so on, right, with the sickness, but they know that they can't, like people like me and so on, do want to make videos about it, right? Of course, at 10th of April. Of course, as I mentioned, the biggest issue is probably a lot of people are going to have the reviews ready, they're going to have part 1 to 20 ready, they're going to have these guides ready and so on. It's going to be ridiculous. People are really going to just bombard that immediately, right? So it's going to be ridiculous. But so they already ruled it anyway, but they know that people want to do that also, right? So they don't want to like completely push away other creators or whatever, right? Other people. after that. So that's one thing. Another thing is that from a legal standpoint, they already announced 10th of April quite a while back, and that's set date, and then you already have the disclosure of information, the NDA, the general embargo, and so on. All of that's already been kind of set in stone almost usually, unless what you can do there from a legal perspective generally, so you can push it back further, right? Yeah, it's like 10th of April, then it's like we can push it to 20 or whatever, but it's hard to go in all the way. There's a lot of more hassle to go. Let's say actually this thing, yeah. So they kind of have to keep the same date, and of course what they would do then is to go against people, right? Because they're dropping the game earlier, but they're not going to allow people to actually play the game earlier in like a streaming perspective, of course not. And I read some funny stuff on Twitter and so on about this, and it's really ridiculous. I feel the people are thinking that they're like, but I own the game, and no, that's not how it works. Just because you own something, and I hate that attitude, even though I clearly do like reactions and so on, but they're always in fair use. So this is a different thing, but it's because you bought something doesn't mean you have the right to show it all the stuff, right? It's ridiculous. People can think that ridiculous because it's like, I mean, if you buy a movie, you can't just like go and show the movie on whatever streaming. You can just like, hey, that's the movie, show it. Just because you bought the movie, yeah. Because you're not buying when you buy this game here. You're not buying. I guess here, man, I love the Mana games. Classic game, right? When you buy this game here, when you buy this CD, you don't own, of course, the IP for the colors or for like the character design, or you don't own the mana tree, the lore or whatever. You don't. If you buy a book, you don't own the author's, lore, right? Or the backstory of the characters. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You wouldn't, yeah. So streaming as a legality is kind of interesting because it's kind of like the gaming companies is allowing it. Nintendo, of course, was against it a very long time. They allow it now, and streaming isn't actually. It's kind of a weird thing, right? Because you stream a game, it's a fair use. Kinda depends on what you do in the game, so your commentary. I think for one thing, when you stream a game, usually it's kind of a clout thing, I suppose. But you have to ask if someone is playing, if people are watching you play the game or they're watching you, right? If they're watching you, so this if you're famous, then right, it's probably less of an issue, I think, in general for fair use. Because it's like, well, they're not here for the game, they're for this person, right? So it depends on what you do for the work or so on. But I would say that definitely that there is, and I think everyone from a legal perspective, and I work for this a bit, so I have lots of business there, is that from gaming videos, when it's like no commentary, like gaming video, no commentary, that is definitely probably not fair use in most situations. Because like, here's just a person playing the game, say nothing about it, no critique, no parody, they're just playing the game, right? And that's just playing the game. I think that if you do something very special in the game, maybe, and that's really interesting, I think, from a legal perspective, because if you play the game, and like I played Neo 2, one of my channels last week, right, 2 weeks ago, and I played Neo naked, naked. No, but I played it naked, like I played an armor in the game. I played this hot gal chick, right, with Gyro, which is like my boobs are basically in my undies, and I have no armor, I have no best bonus stuff. I have just she's like completely vulnerable, so I die from everything, right, and I have this so on. So they can maybe argue that no, I'm commenting anyway and show me. But they can maybe argue say that actually maybe this is fair use, even if it's no commentary, because like this person is playing the game in a very specific manner that is very very few other people are doing in his own path. I mean, I can bet you guys, it's only been me that's uploaded to Twitch and YouTube playing Neo 2 as a hot gyro with no armor with the tonfa. I don't think anyone else has done beating like the last boss on first attempt, tonfa, naked kind of thing. Yeah, no armor, nudeness. Yeah, I very much doubt this, right? So then maybe that's fair use, even if I didn't like comment. I mean, I didn't comment, but if I didn't, right, in theory, maybe that would be fair use because it's like a very specific use of this game of art, right? Maybe, but even if that was fair use in like a F7 game or so on, it's still a system of trade and efficiency and copyright embargo. So if you have something, and I've been working, as I mentioned earlier, as my friend is, with reviewing games, right, and so on before for websites and for my own blog and so on. So we do or papers, right? So I've been doing that like 10 years ago, so on. And of course, you have this specific embargo. You get the game earlier, like I got my friend, he got the game yesterday, and so he can review the game, and his review is still embargoed to 10th of April, right? So he's gonna probably review the same day, right? Yeah, and that's how it usually works because that's a legality, and you actually don't usually write like an NDA even as a reviewer for that matter, but. It's more like they just tell you that if you do it, we sue you. It's more like that, yeah. They're more like actually not NDA. It's more like if you talk about it, you will never ever get a game before again, and you might get sued. Yeah, it's more like that, right? So it's more like the imposing threat what happened. But still, everyone kind of knows that, and there's actually no legal difference if even if you go and buy the game because it still is like you don't own the copyright. You use the own copy to play the game. But you don't own the character, you don't own the art right. I feel this is obvious. Yeah, you don't. So yeah, of course it's irritating. People are like trying to defend themselves. Oh, but people have watched it now. But and again, I feel it's ridiculous because probably to me, especially those people doing it, especially them defending themselves of getting strikes and so on, they are like most people are those clout chasing people. I suppose they are purely doing it because they want to get views, subscribers. And don't love the game rights. So I think that's why they also really deserve it because they are the worst kind of people that play the game. They don't want to play the actual game. They just want people to pay the money. Right? They want to get donations and get the money. Yeah, they don't care about the game. So I think that is the big people. So then I guess I hate them more I pity them because they're defending themselves, obviously breaking the law, and then doing it for the money anyway, doing it for the greed. And then when they get caught for it, they get paid for it. They're still defending their own, their own, crime. Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So then I get hatred. But it obviously from a legal standpoint, you should absolutely not stream the game and so on. I'm just saying that because I wanted to do it personally, but it shouldn't because it's clearly copyright infringement. Because they could easily say that no one can stream this game, and they would probably be allowed to win that. If they said no one can stream the game ever, ever, they can probably win that easily, unless you really make it fair use. Then they can't win that, honestly, because even if they said no one is allowed to stream this game ever, but someone does like a really, someone like especially in America, they do like an actual really fair use video, some parody jokes, some cuts in here and there, then they probably can sue you. I say probably. And I'll say but they can't because. If you make it actually like a really parody or whatever, then you're fine. It's fair use, right? But the thing is that it's live streaming a game or partial whatever, playthrough of a game, especially those no commentary ones, I would say they are not fair use. Unlikely. And the one with commenting, maybe. But I think that, in my opinion, when it comes to this fair use perspective, and it has never been a court case, unfortunately, I think that you have to be more transformative, in my opinion. I think a lot of people that are streaming these games or reactions or whatever, right? They're just kind of doing it, and it doesn't really feel like it's a difference between person A and person B. Or if you watch when I stream, and I love myself so much, but still, I think when I stream a game, I am so much more in depth in the game. Okay? I'm so much more like, this thing is here, that's a code issue, that's this thing right there, this thing, this thing, yeah. I am so much more like that. I like to talk about it, so I think that that makes it a lot more transformative and make it a lot more fair use. Doesn't necessarily make the video more entertaining. I'm not saying that. Doesn't necessarily make it more entertaining or a better video, but it's more, fair use because it's more like I'm actually giving a lot more personal opinion about it, developed opinion about it. So yeah, it's more into that stuff right, than someone who's playing the game and screaming, "Oh my god, let's go die!" like whatever right there, because that's not really doing anything different from like 100 other people doing it right. So it's an interesting aspect there, but it's clearly in the right to go after anyone that would release anything about it right now. So that's why my friends like, don't stream it because you clearly then you lose your don't do that, man. Write your review, but it's pretty obvious because again, you don't actually own any of these rights. You just own to play the game. It's a weird thing, and I would wish that people would go out and would be some actual court cases. Of course, I don't want people to stream games, but I would love if they have some specific guidelines. And actually, obviously, I would admit that I would like that reaction videos or whatever, or streaming videos or whatever, would have to be better, honestly. It sounds very simple to say, but and of course, who said was better? But I would like if it's like you're not allowed anymore to be like, I play this game. playing the game. You know, like that. Those kind of streamers that definitely exist, and you see it in this game too, right? And they are ridiculously bad, I think, and of course they won't really get any, of course, fame from it because they're not even entertaining. It's kind of boring, but they're doing it with this game, and they're so clearly doing it in 7 to make money, right, and be famous. But they are not because they're so boring, so they of course fail. But those people, I think that should be that thing will obviously not be transformative because they don't really add any commentary. They don't really do any actual answers to what they're doing, not critiquing it. They're not critiquing the actual game, right? They just like sitting there. Those kind of people, and there are lots of them. I would like if you actually had a court case or two when it's like, yep, this video's not transformative enough, bam, strike out. I would love that. They would clean up the social media a bit, honestly, force people to be more entertaining and better, honestly. If anything, that's my solution to the issue now. No, but it's a weird issue, right? Anyway, this is the video. I just wanna get my toss out there. I do think Soccer Punch. I do feel very pity and annoyed seeing these people that clearly don't love the game. It makes me really sad. It makes me really sad, and it makes me frustrated. I want to play the game too, of course. And from like I imagine from like an own creative perspective, it really frustrated because I know that when I start playing the game, I think that I haven't got the game yet, but I would guess that I will get the game probably before 10th. That's probably get like Wednesday, probably like something like that. Probably reasonable, maybe on Monday, but I'm not gonna play the game until I can. Well, I'll not stream it. Until I can actually stream it. But I just know that from my YouTube perspective that it's frustrating because from my social media perspective, because obviously people are gonna already have beaten the game. So when I start doing I was gonna do a step on my the channel here. I was gonna do an analyzation on the combat system, right? Depending on compared to the first game, this game, and like FTB and OTDB and so on. Yeah, that is clearly no one is going to be able to do exactly my video, of course, because I don't have my ideas and my perspective of it. But they're going to do a similar video. That's probably someone's probably already done the video, right? So that feels frustrating too. It does. Anyways, see you guys. Have a great day, and yeah, check out more stuff. Right, we're gonna edit this UX video, which I liked. No one viewed it. It's like a hard topic because I don't think anyone really cares about the difference between UI and UX, but it's frustrates me so much because I keep getting interviews or stuff like that in the game industry, and they think I'm some kind of artist. I'm like, no, I'm not freaking I have like a master's degree in like human psychology / computer stuff. I don't know shit about drawing a cool snowman. I can do like analyze people's behavior and analyze how to make a good game. I can't and it's a very different skill set, but still people think it's the same thing all the time, even in the industry. So that was the previous video about that, trying to explain that stuff because it's a very common issue. People think UI and UX is the same thing. Yeah, it's super frustrating. Like I had this work test about a video has work test for a very famous UK company a few years ago, and before I had the work test, it was like, oh, UX design, and talking about that, this game design, UX design, so on. Get the work test, it's a pure artist test, and I'm just like, what? I don't even know this stuff. I can do it, I can try it, but yeah. Testing what you said you want to test. So anyway, that's a little, on the channel here, I like talking about some, game industry experience and so on, and that's a very common issue I have, and it's very annoying. It happens a lot. But anyway, see you guys and have a great day, and you guys check out more videos, yeah.